I want to tell you something about the journey. Most people treat learning English like a problem to be solved, something that is standing between them and where they want to be, an obstacle, a gap to be closed, a difficulty to be survived until it is finally over and the fluency arrives and the problem is solved. They endure the journey, they tolerate it, they look past it, they at the destination and wait for it to end. But here's what happens when you treat learning like a problem to survive. You miss it. You miss the small moments of genuine discovery. The first time a grammar rule suddenly clicks and makes perfect sense. The first time you understand a joke in English without translating it. The first conversation that went better than expected and left you feeling surprised at yourself. All of these moments, if you're only looking past them toward the destination, are invisible. And they are the best parts. The journey is not the obstacle between you and the result. The journey is the result. Everything you become, the patience, the discipline, the confidence, the widened world, comes from the journey, not from the destination. The destination is just where the journey was going. Today's story is about a young man named Soren. Soren was always looking past the journey. He was waiting for it to end until one small moment showed him what he had been missing. This is his story. Meet Soren. Soren was 24 years old. He worked at a shipping company, processing documentation, coordinating with ports, managing import and export records. The work was detailed and systematic. He liked that. He liked order. He had been studying English for 9 months, every morning, 25 minutes before work. Consistent, reliable, the same time, the same desk, the same routine. He was making progress. He knew this. His vocabulary was growing. His reading speed had improved. He could understand professional English content that had been difficult at the start. But he did not enjoy the studying, not because it was painful, just because in his mind it was a means to an end. Something to get through, something necessary before he arrived at the place where English was no longer a problem. He did his sessions efficiently and without attachment. He did not notice small improvements. He did not feel curious about the language. He did not feel anything particular about the journey because he was not in the journey. He was waiting for it to end, and waiting for something to end is a joyless way to spend 9 months. One morning, an ordinary Thursday, something happened that he had not expected. The Thursday morning, Soren was doing his morning session, a listening exercise, an interview with a professional in his industry, someone explaining a complex logistics concept in English. He had been listening to content like this for months. Usually he followed most of it, took notes on new vocabulary, and moved on. But this morning, at minute 4 of the recording, the speaker said something, a metaphor, a comparison between cargo routing and the way water finds its path downhill. And Soren, without meaning to, found it genuinely interesting. Not English interesting, just interesting. The idea itself, the metaphor, the way the speaker had explained something he worked with every day in a way he had never thought about before. He paused the recording. He sat for a moment. He thought, that is a beautiful way to describe it. Not a beautiful English sentence, just a beautiful idea that he had encountered through English because he had been studying English long enough to access it. He replayed that minute of the recording. He thought about the idea again. He noticed for the first time in 9 months that the English had given him something. Not just a skill, not just a professional tool, access to a thought he would not have had otherwise. He wrote in his notebook, Thursday, the cargo routing metaphor. English gave me that thought. I had not noticed it was doing that. He sat at his desk for a moment longer than usual before leaving for work. Something had shifted, small but real. Lesson 1, what the journey was giving now. That evening, Soren thought about the Thursday morning. He thought about 9 months of sessions, about the vocabulary and grammar and listening exercises, about the routine he had followed so reliably. And he thought about what all of that had actually given him beyond the measurable skills. He thought about the articles he had been able to read, the ideas in them, the perspectives from people in other countries and industries. He thought about the videos he now understood, content that had been inaccessible to him 9 months ago. Not just because his English was weak, but because the English had been a wall between him and everything on the other side. The wall was lower now, and through the gaps, ideas, stories, humor, perspectives had been entering his world quietly for 9 months. He had not noticed, because he had been looking past the journey at the destination, but the journey had been giving him things all along. Every session, every new word, every piece of content he could understand better than the month before. He had been receiving gifts without opening them. He decided to start opening them, not by studying differently, by paying attention differently, by allowing himself to be curious about the language, about the ideas it gave access to, about the small moments of genuine understanding that it had happening every morning. He wrote in his notebook, "The journey has been giving me things for 9 months. I was not paying attention. I start paying attention today." Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. The journey gives me things every day. I notice them now. I stop looking past the session toward the destination. I am curious about the language, not just efficient with it. Every new word opens a door. I walk through it. The wall is lower. Ideas are entering. I pay attention to them. I have been receiving gifts. I start opening them today. The journey is not the obstacle. The journey is the point. Lesson 2, the curious session. The next morning, Soren tried something different. Same time, same desk, same 25 minutes. But this time, he allowed himself to be curious. When a new word appeared, instead of noting it and moving on, he paused. He thought about the word. Where did it come from? What did it feel like in the mouth? How would he use it? Was it formal or informal? Did it have a specific feeling, precise, warm, clinical, playful? When a listening piece included an idea that interested him, he let himself be interested. He did not rush to the next exercise. He paused and thought about the idea. When a reading passage mentioned something he had not known before, he wrote it in his notebook, not as vocabulary, as a discovery. The session took 35 minutes instead of 25. He did not mind. He wrote in his notebook, "Today I was curious instead of efficient." The session was 10 minutes longer. It felt completely different, like I was inside the language instead of processing it. He thought about the word inside. That was it. For 9 months, he had been standing outside the language, working on it, improving at it, measuring his distance from it, looking at it from outside. This morning, he had been inside it, even briefly, even imperfectly. Inside was different. Inside was where the journey lived. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. I am curious today, not just efficient. I pause when something interests me. I let myself be interested. I am inside the language this morning, not processing it from outside. Discoveries go in my notebook, not just vocabulary. 10 minutes longer because I was curious, worth every minute. Inside the language is where the journey lives. I embrace the session, not just complete it. Lesson 3, the conversation he enjoyed. 2 months after the Thursday morning, Soren had his first English conversation that he genuinely enjoyed. A brief exchange at a work event with a visiting logistics professional from abroad. They had been introduced and started talking about port documentation, something Soren knew well. In the past, an unexpected English conversation had felt like a test, something to get through, something that measured the gap between his English and the destination. This time, it felt like a conversation. Just two people talking about something they both found interesting. Soren used vocabulary he had learned recently, words that were precise and right for the context. He explained something clearly. The other person nodded and added to it. Soren responded to what they added, back and forth, natural, real. It lasted 8 minutes. When it ended, Soren did not feel relieved that it was over. He felt good about it, interested, like he had genuinely connected with someone through a language he was building. He thought, that was not a test. That was a conversation. He wrote in his notebook, 8 minutes with the logistics professional. It felt like a real conversation, not a test. I was inside it. I did not want it to end. I did not want it to end. He had never written that about English before. Daily English sentences, repeat after me. The conversation felt real, not like a test. I was inside it. Present, connected, curious. I used new vocabulary naturally. It fit. It worked. 8 minutes. I did not want it to end. This is what embracing the journey produces. Moments like this. English connected me to someone today. That is what it is for. I did not want it to end. I have never felt that about English before. Lesson 4. 1 year. The journey embraced. 1 year after starting his English routine, Soren sat at his desk on a quiet Sunday morning. He opened his notebook to the first entry. 9 months before the Thursday morning, 12 months before today. He read the first few entries. Efficient, methodical, vocabulary noted, progress tracked. Nothing about curiosity or discovery or enjoyment. Then he found the Thursday entry, the cargo routing metaphor. English gave me that thought, and from there, the entries changed. Small notes about interesting ideas, words that had a good feeling, conversations that had surprised him, moments where something clicked and he had paused to appreciate the click. The notebook had become a record, not just of learning, but of a journey being lived. He thought about the version of himself 12 months ago, the one who had been efficiently waiting for the journey to end. That version had been missing the journey entirely. This version, the one who had noticed the metaphor on a Thursday morning and decided to pay attention, had been inside the journey for the past 12 months, and the journey had been extraordinary. Not every day. Most days were ordinary. Most sessions were unremarkable. But woven through the ordinary days, the curious moments, the real conversations, the ideas that had entered through the lower wall, the words that had felt right and precise, the small satisfactions of understanding something better than the week before. All of it, the journey. And the journey had been the best part. He wrote in his notebook, 1 year. The journey was the point. I almost missed it. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. The journey was the point. I almost missed it. I am glad I paid attention from the Thursday morning onward. Most days ordinary, the extraordinary woven through. That is enough. The notebook is a record of a journey being lived, not just tracked. I am inside the language now. It took one small moment to get here. The destination will come. But the journey is where I live. I embrace this. All of it. The ordinary and the extraordinary both. Final words. Be in the journey. Soren's story is simple. He was studying well. consistently, reliably, efficiently, but he was not in the journey. He was waiting for it to end until a Thursday morning. A cargo routing metaphor, a thought he had not expected to have, and something shifted. He started paying attention to the ideas the language was giving him, to the words that had a precise or beautiful or interesting quality, to the conversations that were more than tests, to the small daily discoveries of someone genuinely inside a language rather than working on it from outside. The journey became something he was living, not enduring. Maybe you are enduring your English journey too. Maybe you are looking past it at the destination, at the day when English is no longer a problem, and waiting for today's session to be finished so you can get one step closer to there. I want to suggest one thing: be here in this session, in this word, in this conversation, in this moment of understanding something you did not understand last month. Be curious about it, be present for it. Let yourself be genuinely interested, even for 5 minutes, even once this week. Because the journey is not the obstacle between you and fluency. The journey is where the fluency lives. It is where the discovery lives. It is where the person you are becoming is being built. Do not wait for it to end. Embrace it. See you in the next one. Stay calm, stay curious, and embrace the journey.